Today to talk to you about balance. So thank you so much for coming. I know last time we did this, checking my chat real quick. So it was really hard for me because I was looking at the chat and I was looking at the screen. So I'm going to try to do a little better today. Bear with me, folks. I'm not the best at this live streaming, but we're going to see how it goes. So today I'm talking to you about balance and mostly work life balance. And I know after COVID, we all got into work life integration, which is balancing your work with your life. But still, many times we feel like we're completely off kilter and our balance is a mess. So I wanted to spend some time today and talk to you about that because it's very important that we're balanced and it's very important that our work and our life is balanced. So I'm going to dive in a little. There's so much on this topic, but we'll just get into a few of those things right now. I am live right now on LinkedIn and Facebook, so I'm hoping that you're able to see me. Please put in the chat if you are able to see me. And so hopefully I can get that. It might be delayed because I don't really know how the delay works, but we'll give this one a good try. So, if you are looking for balance in your life and you've got your work and you've got your life and you're thinking it's completely off kilter, I get it. I've been there. It's been a mission of mine practically my entire life. And I waited a long time to figure this out. I went through a lot. So I'm going to give you some pointers here today to really help you through that. And if you want to dive in more, you can reach out to me at Robin at Hidden Gems, plural, coaching.co hiddengemscoaching.co. And you can also go to my website and go to the contact page. You can send me a little note. I do have free 45-minute discussions about how I work and how you can work with me to help deal with your balance or planning or your career. What I do is I help individuals up level their careers and their lives through career coaching. It is a 3-pillar process, about 13 weeks. But today I'm just going to dive into a little bit of the balance. So if you're feeling unbalanced because maybe you're stressed out at work, you're coming home, you're exhausted, these are all signs that you're a little unbalanced. You're driving your kids here to there, then you're trying to do work. You're turning on the computer at 9 o'clock at night to get a project done every single night. Or you're finding that you're staying at the office till 10 or 11 o'clock at night and you're just completely exhausted, only to go home, go to bed, and get up the next day and do this. Yeah, I've been there. When I was in HR, I was walking through the halls one day and I asked the gentleman, I go, how are you doing? And he said, oh, Robin, I'm just exhausted. I'm working so much. I said, you're kidding. And he said, no, we've got this big project and I've got to get all my work done. He was in the lab. I've got to get my experiments done because we need the results. And I'm just working really long hours. I thought, well, that's weird. And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, is the team getting you pizzas or anything? And he goes, no, I'm working long. And I thought that was kind of odd. So that was at 8 in the morning. And then at 10 in the morning, I saw him in the lunchroom chatting it up with some folks. And at 12, I saw him again chatting it up with some folks. And at 2 o'clock, he was chatting it up with some folks. And I left around 6 and he was still there. I thought that's really weird. He's really talking a lot more than working. But I then the next day asked him, oh, did you get your stuff done? And he said, no, I didn't get it done, Robin. I was still working really late. I can't balance. This is not working for me. And I thought, well, that's odd. I said, well, let me see what I can do for you. So I thought I'd go talk to his manager and ask his manager. I said, are you working him really long? He said, I'm not working him long. He doesn't need to stay long. We just have a deadline for a project and he's got to get the project done. Then I go into the break room around 10 o'clock and there he was chatting it up again. Same thing at 12 noon for his lunch hour. Then he's doing it again at 3 and then he's doing it again at 5. He's standing by the front door talking to some folks that were leaving for the day. I thought, well, that's really odd. So when he came to me the next day and told me that it was absolutely exhausting, Robin, I cannot keep doing this. That's when I decided to step in. He said, well, I noticed that you were chatting it up at 10, 12, during your lunch, 3, 4. I told him what I'd observed over the last couple of days. And he said, yeah, well, I'm just socializing. I said, yeah, but when you've got a deadline and you're socializing, something's off kilter. Let's sit down and put a schedule together. So we did. We put a schedule together, and he came in at 7:30 in the morning. He got his coffee, did his thing. Then he went and did his work. Then I saw him in the break room around 10 o'clock the next day. And I said, hey, are you following that schedule? He goes, no, but I'm going to it right now. And he left to go do it. And I would have to help him monitor his schedule for that week. And after the week was done, I asked him, how's it going? He said, Robin, he goes, thank you so much for putting the schedule together for me and helping me maintain the schedule, because I'm able to get out of here at 7 o'clock at night and actually find myself having a life. He had a girlfriend that was getting upset because he couldn't spend time with her, and now he was able to spend more time with her. So he did appreciate the schedule. So I'm going to give you my first tip, and that is put a schedule together. You need to have a schedule at work, and if you have a busy family life, you need a schedule at home. Many times the two of them collide, and I'll tell you more about how to work on that. But at work, you need to set the schedule, especially if you're a manager, because you are leading by example. If you're a manager and you can't manage your schedule, then how do you expect your team to manage theirs? So you need to manage your schedule. When I was in management and I had direct reports under me, I would have time, on my calendar to talk with them every week. And I remember one time I had to go to my EA because he literally had me booked one meeting after another. And I said, Corey, I can't do this. So you need to help me here. It takes me 10 minutes to walk over to that other building. When I'm done with that meeting, I have to come back, put my stuff down, grab the next stuff to go over to the other building. I have no downtime in here, and there's no time for me to get my work done. I said, so please, if you could give me 30 minutes in between meetings just to have a little downtime, that would really help. So Corey and I worked on my schedule together. I also blocked off time. In the morning, I would get there and I need the first hour to kind of get into the groove of the day. Then I'd start my meetings and do whatever I needed to do. And then at the end of the day at 4:30 every day, I made sure that I was completely blocked off. This allowed me to be able to schedule for the next day, or to look at the calendar, or to spend time wrapping up the day and figuring out what needs to be done. On Fridays at 2:30 every Friday, I would block off time. And all that was for me to prep for the next week at work, to make sure that I got my work done that needed to get done, and to prioritize what was important for the next week. So it was really important I did that. I tried not to have any meetings after 2:30. Sometimes they would come up, but many times I was able to manage this. Also, I put priorities in place. So if it was something that needed to be done and it was such a priority that the business was not going to survive without me attending that meeting, then that meeting was a 10. That was really important for me to attend that meeting. If the meeting was not attend and didn't need that much attention, maybe it was a 6 or something, I could maybe move it to a different day. So I would schedule out time for myself every single day. That was my downtime. What that was time for me to get my work done, time for me to take a break and strategize if I needed to work on a project. I had to schedule certain time. So everybody has different schedules. They have different situations at work, and you really need to work on your schedule, kind of figure out what works for you. And if you don't know how to figure it out, go to somebody that can. I am sure there's somebody in your office that's really good at scheduling, maybe a boss, maybe a coworker that can sit down with you and schedule. I also have individuals I work with where that's all I do. They just schedule planning meetings with me, and I help them to plan out their schedules and get them started. So you can always go to a coach or a mentor and do that as well. So scheduling is really important in the workday. Now, if you're a parent and you're dealing with family and that's busy, I'm going to give you a tip. It's not you. You don't have to do this alone, even if you're a single parent. There are so many other people in this world. And it takes a village to raise a family. So put your schedule together, ask for friends. There were many times where I had to ask friends to pick up my son from school to help get him to where he needed to be. And many times when his sports, we had carpools that we worked together. You want to be able to do that, but it is a give and take. So don't always have the person take, and you not do anything in return. Many times I would get gas money if I couldn't help out, or I would carpool on a day that I could help out. So carpooling, working as a team, we wouldn't be in this world, in this universe, if there weren't other people in it to help us. So scheduling is important at work, and scheduling is important at home. Make sure you're working with your friends, your partner, other parents that can help you out. It's really important. It does help you and gives you time. Second tip, take time out for you. Okay. If that means that you need to go and take a walk around the block and just kind of regroup your thoughts, go do it. If that means that you need to, hey, can you take care of my son and get Johnny to this practice? I've got to go get my nails done and I need a break. Do it. We're always there to help each other out. And we also need time for ourselves. It's really important to take care of you. You're not going to be good to anybody else if you're completely burned out. I've also noticed in HR that if you're burnt out in your job, it's usually because you didn't manage your time properly. So there have been days where I've come home just absolutely swamped. It's because I did not take the time to really schedule myself out properly. I didn't take the time to regroup into the morning. And when I drive, I'm driving, dropping my son off, and then I'm driving to take him to school, and then I'm driving to the office. I'm not getting it. I'm sitting in traffic and I'm not getting that downtime that I need. So I take another 5 minutes. I sit in the car, quiet, calm music, listen, breathe. I have to regroup from one thing to another. I do the same thing on the way home. I leave work, go to pick him up at daycare. When I get to daycare, before he ever sees me get out of the car, I take a deep breath and regroup from the day. It's only 5 minutes. Just listen to some soft music and breathe. It will really help you calm yourself down and go from one thing to another. Now, many of us are really good at multitasking, and that's great. It's fantastic to be a multitasker, but it's also burnout. When you're doing too many things at once, your brain just wants to explode. So slow it down. Figure out what the priorities are of the day. Talk to your manager or boss or a coworker and say, hey, I'm really confused. I'm not sure if this is the priority or this is the priority. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone into my supervisors and said, hey, I don't know what to prioritize on because I've got 50 million things coming at me and I don't know where to go. They're more than willing to sit down and help. I remember I was talking to my team and I would have to help them prioritize at times. We don't have to be these incredible people that have it all together all the time. I'm a coach and I help others, but many times I have to go up to my spouse and say, look, I've got 20 different things coming at me and I don't know which one to do and I need help. So don't feel like you have to control it all because you really don't. You need to have a little time for yourself. You need to prioritize what's important and you need to be flexible because sometimes life throws things at you. So you're at work, you're busy doing your job, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, oh my gosh, Robin, we've got a 10. You've got to drop everything and go to this meeting with the CEO. And it's happened. It has happened more times than I want to count, but it's happened. And so I have to drop everything. I've got to go talk to the CEO, or I've got to go talk to my staff member, or my staff has a problem with a candidate and they're on the phone and they need me to drop everything and go run. I have to be flexible. I have to go. That's okay. You know why? Because I scheduled out downtime in my day. So if that happened at 11 o'clock and I wasn't able to get what I needed to done then, or I wasn't able to get to the meeting I was needed to be at, I handled the priority at the time, went and talked to whomever was in the meeting to find out what I needed to do. And then during my downtime, I worked on that activity because I gave myself buffers in my day. Another reason why people get burnt out, one thing after another. Just like I told you the story with my EA, back to back to back to back. Doesn't work, folks. Give yourself some time. You need to breathe, walk around the building, take a moment to go get a cup of coffee or lunch. You need to take a little time in between things. These back to backs don't always work and they're exhausting. And what happens when you're in back to back, one meeting after another meeting, and then you come into your office and you're bombarded with other things? Or you're on Zoom, back to back to back to back to back. You don't have time to go to the bathroom. I've been there too. When COVID first happened and we were all on Zoom, back to back to back to back, I thought, oh, I could get so much done because I'm working from home. No, I still need the downtime. My brain still needs time to refocus and process everything. So time management is huge when you are looking for balance in your life. Every time in HR, when I've talked to somebody who wasn't balanced, it's because the time management was off. So work on that. Get your time management together. Set your boundaries. If it's not your project to work on, it's not important for you to do it. Or if you can allow somebody else to do that job, let them go do it. There are times, here's a story for you. I would get upset because my husband stacked the dishes in the dishwasher different than I stacked the dishes in the dishwasher. And I used to get all freaked out about it. Oh my gosh, he's going to break a dish. He's going to hurt something. It's a dish. If it breaks, I can go buy a new dish because I've got a job. I'm working. Okay? It's a dish. If he doesn't stack it the exact way, they still get cleaned. Does it really matter? It's not like he's throwing reds in with my whites in the laundry. He's stacking the dishwasher. Let him help. Number 2 tip, ladies, you need to make sure your men or your partner knows that you need help, because we're really good about not telling people we need help. Ask for help. You do not have to own it. You do not have to control it. And you, guess what? You get asked for help. It's really important that you do that. So, running through them again, set your boundaries. Okay? Time management, get your calendar together and put some time in there for you. Take appropriate breaks and time out for you. And 4, be flexible. All right? Give yourself some flexibility. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You can go to my contact page at hiddengemscoaching.co. Hope this helps you out and gives you a few tips. And I'm hoping to see you next time and you go shine in your career. Thank you.